5 court cases where juveniles were tried as adults. In the eyes of the law, justice is supposed to be blind. But what happens when children, some as young as 12, find themselves standing trial as adults? These are the stories of 5 juveniles whose actions force society to ask, at what point does a child stop being a child in the eyes of justice? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're exploring shocking cases where kids were tried as adults. These stories challenge everything we think about crime, justice, and second chances. So stick around, you won't believe some of these outcomes. 1. Denver Jarvis, Michael Bent, and Jesus Mendez. Set friend on fire over $40. In 2009, authorities arrested 5 Florida teenagers for setting 15-year-old Michael Brewer on fire over a $40 video game-related debt. When Brewer couldn't pay up, Michael Bent took Brewer's father's bicycle and orchestrated an attack. The group held down Brewer while Denver Jarvis poured rubbing alcohol on him. Jesus Mendez pulled out a lighter and ignited the teen. The fire was so severe, Brewer's clothes burned off his body as he desperately tried to stop, drop, and roll in the front yard. He eventually jumped into a pool to extinguish the flames, but over 65% of his body was burned. 3 of the 5 teens involved, Denver Jarvis and Michael Bent, both 15, and Jesus Mendez, 16, were charged with attempted second-degree murder and tried as adults. Court sentenced both Bent and Mendez to 11 years in prison for battery. Mendez also got 19 years of probation. Jarvis received a sentence of 8 years in prison with 10 years of supervised community probation. 2. Curtis and Catherine Jones fatally shot their father's girlfriend. On January 1999, Curtis and Catherine Jones were 12 and 13 years old, respectively, when they took their father's gun and fatally shot his 29-year-old girlfriend, Sonia Spites. Those close to the siblings originally alleged they did it out of jealousy. However, reports from Florida's Department of Children and Families uncovered that a different male relative who was living in the Cocoa Beach household sexually assaulted the children. Allegedly, neither their father nor Spites did anything about the allegations, so the siblings conspired to eliminate the relative who was harming them, their father and Spites. Both of the siblings pleaded guilty to second-degree murder, were tried as adults, and received 18 years in prison with lifelong probation. Even after the trial, Catherine Jones maintained she regretted hurting someone, but had to get away. In 2015, they were released from prison. 3. Tyler Hadley took the lives of his parents, then threw a house party. In 2011, 17-year-old Tyler Hadley hid his parents' cell phones so they couldn't call the police. He took 3 ecstasy pills and blasted Feel Lucky by Lil Boosie to psyche himself up. He then took a claw hammer from the garage, went into the living room, and bludgeoned his mother, who was working on the family computer. After his father discovered his wife dead on the floor, Tyler beat him with the sharp end of the hammer. He then used Facebook to invite local Florida teens to a party at his house, while he left his parents' bodies in their bedroom upstairs. Over 50 people attended the party. Port St. Lucia authorities tried Hadley as an adult and sentenced him to 2 life terms without parole. He was 6 months shy of his 18th birthday and received the maximum sentence allowed for a minor. 4. Ari Morales and Marcel Peter beat and sexually assaulted a 15-year-old girl at homecoming. In October 2009, a group of males ages 15 to late 40s were drinking outside of the Richmond High School homecoming dance. They invited a 15-year-old female student to join. She allegedly drank a little before they propositioned her for sex. When she denied, they forced her down on a concrete bench where she was continuously beaten and sexually assaulted for over 2 hours. They penetrated her with foreign objects, burned her with cigarettes, and poured enough alcohol down her throat to give her a near-fatal blood alcohol level. At one point, one of the attackers even used the girl's cell phone to call her father and say she was great at sex. As many as 20 bystanders looked on during the attack. Police believed they were aware of what was happening, although none called for help. A local resident heard about the attack and called the police, who found the girl unconscious under a picnic table. Emergency responders airlifted her to the hospital in critical condition. 16-year-old Ari Morales and 17-year-old James Peter were among 6 boys and men charged. The judge decided to try the juveniles as adults because he deemed their actions extremely callous and brutal. California sentenced Morales to 33 years in prison and Peter 29 years to life. 5. 6-year-old Carl Mahan shot an 8-year-old girl. In an argument in 1929, a few months before the stock market crash that started the Great